So here, what I'm doing, I can take a great technology called paper and pen, and I can take physical objects and using this sort of serendipitous interface, just hit a button and immediately start creating content that is blended. Some of it is digital, some of it is physical, and this becomes even more interesting when I can. Oops, this was. Let me jump to the right spot. Becomes more interesting when we can do it between two machines. So imagine this is in every meeting room. So right now we have one device. This is called Silverjack. It's Blackjack's brother. And I just scanned one thing on one side and pushed it to the other side. And since the interface here is entirely web-based, so literally if you can develop for any browser, you can develop for the system. It is possible. It's basically, think about this as simple as pushing minified URL from one device to another. So here's another example of what we can do with this interface. So let's say we had this concept of an app store that we can download applications. So we can simply pull widgets from the web. And this was a live demo. So nothing except the first video you saw is conceptual. And so this is literally pulling YouTube from the web and projecting it on the desk. So this is kind of cool. However, it becomes cooler, we think, when you can start this in the same sort of kinetic desktop, and what we can do is start relocating application or giving spatial memory to the workspace. So right now I just started a Twitter application, and I'm physically dragging and dropping this application in a certain location. So this may seem like, okay, what is this good for? And I may agree with you, but don't think about now. Think about the games that this would enable, or what is this in environments like air traffic control, for example, where you have multiple people, or an operating theater. So and that said, we're just scratching the surface here, there's much more to come from such interactions, I believe. Now, we've explored this even further in this concept, which is called Luminar Retail. This is the 6th prototype. This was a part of a project we undertook with 2 of our member companies, Intel and Best Buy. And together, Intel brought a lot of technology, and Best Buy brought a lot of insight to the retail world. And the idea was to take this technology and see what it can do in space like a complex space like retail, where retail has problems of relevancy, how to engage customers, and this was discussed here today in different panels. So in this case, you see a counter that basically responds to me. So the minute I start interacting with the product on the counter, I start to get contextual information. This is something we call just-in-time end-place information. Since this system can move. And so, for example, after a little while, the system can move to a different location on the counter, prompting me to place the camera there. And as soon as I do that, something very similar to the experience you're familiar with from e-commerce sites just pops up on furniture. Now, when you talk to retailers and they say, well, this is, what do we need to do to install this thing? And if the answer is, well, you just screw it into the light bulb and give it a wireless network, then it becomes almost a no-brainer to them. Why is this a relevant solution down the road? So the implication for them is basically to, back to the initial concept I presented, is that the world can become their store, literally, and they could have direct link to the customers, and they're free of the constraints that mobile phones present to them today. So we think it's pretty interesting. The final thing I want to share with you today is new work called Swipe. And Swipe is basically taking Luminar and bringing it to a point where it can talk and interact with devices that we're used to today, like iPhones and iPads and such. I don't think that form factors like Luminar are going to make existing computing device obsolete at all. In fact, they're just going to help each other. And so this Swipe is a set of software infrastructure and a framework and interactions that support that. And so I'll show it very quickly. Basically, it's designed to help situations like this, where we basically have two very sophisticated computing devices, and there's a paradox. If you want to move something between them, you need to work really hard. You need to start some sort of an application and find where the file and attach and send and so on and so forth. So we thought there's a better way to do it, and let me just show you the video. So basically what you're seeing here is a swipe. So I know it looks very almost like magic, but what you just saw is, a physical gesture.
First comes the swipe out. And then
a physical gesture that started a network connection peer-to-peer between two devices. Just using the physical gesture with no pairing whatsoever between the two devices. And the way we can do it is actually very simple. What we can do is detect the swipe out event and detect the swipe in event and correlate it with the network events. And so we also integrated this into Luminar, and the result is this collaborative workspace where two people can exchange content between two devices. And the application we created is called Postcards, which is just what it is. It's a way for people to create a postcard together really quickly. And it's very simple. You just tap on where you want the picture to go, and one user swipes that in, and he would swipe in another image. And eventually, once they're happy and they want this postcard back on another device, and they're so happy that it's done and so easy, and they can just swipe it back. So now it's on an iPad. So you kind of have seen how three form factors can very naturally and easily talk to each other. And again, I mean, this is just a very small hack of a few months. Obviously, we worked very hard to get it, but it shows so much promise, I think. And so, in the spirit of this event, I think it's the best platform to present this. And I want to call out to all of you, members and non-members, to join. And if you want to start playing around with Swipe, it's open source and it's out there right now and available for you to download and contribute. And I'd like to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Arigato.
Thank you, Natan. はい。いい機会ですので、プロフェッサー・ジョー・パラディーソ、Akane Sano、ナタン・リンダーのプレゼンテーション、あるいは彼らの所属するグループのアクティビティ含めて何かご質問、あるいはコメントあれば、今ここで受け付けたいというふうに思います。いかがでしょうか？ Any questions or comments about the presentation done by three researchers and also the research groups they are working for? Okay, if not, I encourage you guys also talk to them in the receptions and also the live demos. デモおよびレセプションの機会にぜひ具体的なデモを見ながらですね、いろいろコメントいただければと思います。では休憩ということで今パラレルで走ってますワークショップが終わって皆さんが降りてくるのが多分5時半過ぎになってますのでということで5時半をめどに最後のスピンオフのセッションそしてクロージングに進みたいと思います。ではブレイクです。